Zidane Daney, Election Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Election Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow hosts,
I'm Jack.
I'm Joker.
and today is the last Nerd Chat before Christmas. And we're talking about Superman for some reason.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Yeah, that is a good question. I was outvoted.
Well, it's
I
less.
didn't care.
Well, we
Less
might do
Christmas
another Nerd
cards
Chat
too.
eventually. It's just like before Christmas. That's a little bit more fun. But we'll see. It's gonna take some. We need a little bit. Maybe tomorrow. We'll figure it out. But we'll talk tomorrow behind the scenes, and maybe we'll do another Nerd Chat. Um, but yeah, this is So the Superman trailer just came out on the 19th, and I watched it the day that it came out and was just kind of out of it when I watched it, so I didn't really get. I barely put pieces together. Then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, yeah, let me actually think a little bit more about this. And then you guys just watched it for the first time today, right?
I've seen bits and pieces of it on YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
They've been posting it on YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
I don't know. I I'm sorry. I like my Henry Cavill Superman,
Yeah.
but we'll see what James Gunn can do with Superman.
Yeah. And Jack doesn't like Superman. Right? Jackie boy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Zoning out.
Why don't you like Superman?
No, I was reading something.
Okay. Well, that too. uh, but yeah, I think I think there's a lot that it could be, but it also, yeah. The first thought that I think everyone's been having about this trailer is it looks busy. It really does. So I think it's gonna be a bit of a. I think he's trying to bite off more than he can chew, is like one thing. Um, and I think that that's part of the problem is that DC has just been having so many issues for so long with its movies. Like some of its movies are fantastic; they work great. Like Wonder Woman, the Shazam movies. What else was a good one from the recent stuff?
Man of Steel.
Yeah, I guess that.
Man, it's still good.
Eh.
I like Man of Steel.
I think that there were problems with it, but of all of them, it was probably one of the better ones. I also liked I like the Snyder version
The
of
Snyder version of the Justice League.
yeah, that one was pretty
It,
good.
that one is amazing. Yes, it is 4 hours thinking long,
Yeah,
but it explains so much. It's so much more understood. You get way more out of it, and you get the full picture and full story of it.
yeah,
It is so good.
yeah,
That one is good.
yeah. I think that if I think he had like some family emergency during the creation of the originally, and that's why he had to step away from it. I think, and I think that this makes things so it made things so much more make sense. I guess is probably the best way to put it. Um, and I did like it. I think Justice League was a real was the Snyder version was really good. Um, but I
I have
think
no idea about any of this because I don't like DC.
fair.
You are more of the Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and
Give Jack Captain America or uh, Iron Man. That
Yeah,
sort of thing.
definitely.
yeah,
Or Wonder Woman. I mean, I do like some DC, but mostly I like the DC villains and Wonder Woman.
yeah. And you like Aquaman?
I
But
like Wonder Woman in general. I do like Aquaman. He's a special place in my heart because he's my first superhero.
how do you feel about the recent Aquaman movies with Jason Momoa? Just out of curiosity.
I actually kind of like them.
Okay.
They weren't bad.
I only watched the first one, and I had a lot of problems with it. Most of them were not Jason Momoa's fault. I think the biggest, I think the biggest problem was just like the Amber Heard and Jason Momoa do not have enough chemistry. I think that was like one of the big issues.
That's true.
And it's just like, oh, suddenly they're together. Especially like that's part of the reason why I didn't want to watch the second one, because of the fact that supposedly they're together. They have a kid now, and it's just like, well, I mean, sure they shared a kiss, but they really didn't have any chemistry before this, so I don't know. And then I have other problems. I think that I think Ocean Master. I think is probably the best one that I want to talk about that, because his mask is animated, and it moves with his emotions, and while in like a comic book or in a cartoon, whatever, it's a cartoon. Nobody gives a shit. But when it's live action, it's just like, the fuck?
It's weird.
it's bizarre. So I think that was just like, that threw me for a loop. So I often will point to that, as well as like I said, Amber Heard is the worst thing about it was that this was like around the time that the stuff with her and Johnny Depp was happening. So yeah,
That too.
and yet she was perfectly fine while he had so many difficulties. I don't know. That was weird to me. I don't know. We're not gonna get into that whole debate right now, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there were I think I've rewatched Aquaman since my first time watching it, and I think that it's better than I thought it was at the time, but at the same time it's not great. I think that there's a lot of issues. Like I said, the two biggest ones is Amber Heard just not, I don't know, she just does not look like she's interested in freaking in Aquaman at all. And a lot of times, like, Jason Momoa kind of has it looks like he's overacting in certain points to basically make up for what she's not doing.
That's true.
So I think like if he had toned it down, or she had just actually acted like a human being, then I think that things would have been fine. But I don't know. And then obviously the mask of Ocean Master. I think that if they didn't animate it, then it probably would have been fine. Or if the entire movie was animated, and his mask was animated, then that would also be fine. I don't know. But yeah. But I think that's like the big issue with DC as a whole lately, is that they really haven't been doing great. I think the best things that they have done in recent years was, for one, the cartoons, which I know that you guys haven't seen many of their cartoons, but a lot of them were actually really good, and very few of them are connected, so that's part of the reason why it's just kind of like, you're not necessary. I think that they succeeded really well with it. And then the Arrowverse also did really, I think a lot of people really love that. I for one really enjoyed it. I think that they did a fantastic job with it. I think that after a point it started to get kind of bad, but I think that was less to do with DC themselves and more to do with the fact that, well, the world and CW was kind of just having weird things. So I don't know. There's a lot of factors with the CW shows kind of failing. So I'm not gonna chalk it up to one single thing. because there is no one single thing. But at first, the CW shows, especially Flash, was fantastic. Arrow was good. Supergirl was good. It was great. Black Lightning was fun, and as was Legends. Legends was also very fun. So I think that they did a lot of good things, but they could have also done things a little bit better. I don't know. I think that's just like the main thing with DC is that they always do these things where, you know, you could be great. You could be great if you did this one, if you changed this one thing. But let's talk about the actual trailer. So it was very short, only 2 minutes long, and it showed a lot. Probably too much, I think.
If all that's in the movie, that's gonna be a lot of movie.
It is going to be a lot of movie. So, firstly, I think the first thing that we kind of that a lot, at least a few people are saying, is that obviously Luthor is going to be the bad guy, but we also but there's also a high possibility that Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl are somehow, they're not on Superman's side. That much is kind of obvious. It looks like Mr. Terrific is going to be on Superman's side, though, so that's going to be fun. And Crypto's going to be in it. Crypto is going to be in it, which is kind of insane, because I think this is the first time that Crypto has ever appeared in a non-animated movie. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it?
I think it might be.
It might be.
Because I know he's appeared in a few of the animated things, but I don't think he's ever appeared in anything that was live action. Can you guys think of anything, or?
Not live action, but he did have his own movie.
Yeah, but I think that was definitely cartoon.
It for sure was.
Yeah. I think he's appeared in like maybe some Justice League, maybe some Superman shows. But I don't think
But
ever.
nothing... Yeah, not live action.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I'm kind of here for. I'm kind of excited to see Crypto. He's gonna be cute, and I think that that's the important thing. I'm kind of wondering if he can talk. But
I think it's funny that they didn't do him as like a Great Dane or a lab or something. They made him a little tiny fluffy thing.
Yeah, I think that that's gonna be truly fantastic, because like usually they make him out to be this big, massive, bulky dog, but now he's just cute. He's just cute and fluffy.
Yeah, now he's just cute and fluffy.
And I think that that's gonna make things like make so much more sense for Crypto, because it's like with like a big bulky dog, you kind of expect him to be like you can kind of imagine him to be like this big powerful dog, but him being like this cute tiny little dog, and still being super strong and all of the different abilities that Kryptonian has. I think it's gonna be adorable and just cute, fluffy adorableness.
Yeah. No, I would agree. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I think that
they hurt Crypto though.
I don't think they will. Like he might join in a battle, and then maybe he'll be like Luthor might do something and people will be pissed. But I don't think that he's not gonna die. I do not 100% he is not gonna die. He's a dog. He might be injured, but I think he'll heal pretty quickly. I think it's mostly gonna be something to like prove that Lex is a piece of shit. Oh yeah. Luthor is always a piece of shit. Let's be honest here. And maybe that's gonna, huh?
Who is?
Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that's actually gonna be something that's gonna because it looks like in the trailer people are not necessarily too thrilled with Superman at this point in time. So I think that quite possibly he is going to be there's going to be something with Lex being a bitch, and he's going to hurt Krypto, and then everyone's just going to be like, how dare you hurt the cute puppy? I don't think they're going to do that, but at the same time it would be kind of funny if like he's fighting Superman, and then Krypto shows up to help Superman, and Lex hits the dog with like a kryptonite infused gauntlet or something, and everyone watching the TV at home is just like, oh, how dare he? And then everyone starts cheering for Superman. Kick his ass!
I can see that.
I don't know. I think that would be fun. I think that would be funny as heck. But and it would it would be one way, and I think that another thing about this is that I think that if Krypto is a very important factor in the movie, I think that it's going to humanize Superman to the character to the rest of the world, because Superman has a dog. Like, what else is going to like if you do not like an alien but they have a cute puppy, how long are you going to stay mad at them? Especially if he's been helping people this entire time, which is what it looks like he's going to be doing. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot that's going to be going on for sure. Now, how do you feel about Guy Gardner being the Green Lantern for this movie?
I mean, sounds
Green
right.
Lantern in this movie.
Yeah,
You
there's
missed that part, did you?
It's
I thought it was like Krypton, like laser.
Nope.
Kryptonite laser.
Nope, that's fucking Guy Gardner. That's a Green Lantern Guy Gardner.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they revealed that it was Guy Gardner a while ago, that he was going to be in this. And it's disappointing. It's Guy Gardner. I don't know.
It seems like the villain of this movie though is going to be like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that makes sense with like Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner has kind of always kind of never chosen the right people to be friends with. So I feel like him joining Lex is gonna make sense, and it's just gonna be like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I don't
know. It's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting, but yeah, I don't know. It's concerning. But yeah, Guy Gardner is in it. Hawk Girl is in it. Mr. Terrific is in it. And I don't know. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. I think that there's a lot of things that.
I still feel like they have too much going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, like too many characters. If you want to do a Superman movie, do a Superman movie. Not like what they did with Black Adam.
Yeah.
Like, Black Adam was supposed to be about Black Adam. Instead, they made it about Dr. Fate and Hawkman and all of them. And it's like, no, if you're going to make a Black Adam movie, make a Black Adam movie, not whatever they were.
I don't know. I kind of liked Black Adam. I think that it was fun. But because the thing is, like, Black Adam is not a good guy. Like, at all. He has never been a good guy. And, like, sure, he's not a bad guy? He's kind of... I don't know.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. And I think that it's fine, but I think that there's a lot of things that they could have done better with it. But at the same time, I kind of liked it. I liked Black Adam. I know that it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I liked it. I think that choosing to have The Rock be Black Adam was kind of grasping at straws, but
Okay, I mean, there's that.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, I didn't mind The Rock as Black Adam. I just thought it was too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with Black Adam uh, being The Rock, my only complaint, I think he did a good job. Do not get me wrong. I think he did a good job in it. I think the problem was that they were grasping at straws because they knew that DC was going in the shitter. So they were like, okay, what can we do to fix this? Let's grab like who is the one of the best the top actors right now that people that is a big celebrity that will get people in the seats. I know, freaking The Rock. What? And that's what I feel like it was doing. It wasn't necessary. They didn't grab him because he was a good actor. They grabbed him because he was a celebrity, and I think that that's gonna work, and that's gonna help things. Which, don't get me wrong, I think that Black Adam did good. I think that it but at the same time there were a lot of issues, and I think that that's the basic statement for DC lately. And it's kind of the thing that I've kind of been saying for a lot of DC is that DC doesn't seem to work for the cinematic universe idea that Marvel has made.
Yeah, Marvel's done planned it out like 10 years.
Yeah. Like, granted, there are times where it's just like, yeah, they need a little bit more. They probably should have spent a little bit more time planning this, but that's mostly been in recent stuff. There are certain things that have been good, certain things that have been bad, and I think that I don't think they've ever made like a truly bad decision, though. I know that some people say that they have. I think that they have done pretty good. Even like the worst movies of Marvel, I think have been actually pretty good. I think that some people are just like, it is becoming something that nerds are going to love, but not necessarily the entire world. And I think that that's kind of the reason. It's not. It's too expanded. It's too big, and as such, it's not necessarily something that everyone can is gonna be feeling like they can watch. Especially with all of the shows, all of the movies, every single piece of this massive puzzle. They're going, and that's like part of the reason why so many people have not watched everything. Like Jack hasn't watched everything, right?
Nope.
Joker, have you watched everything?
Nope.
No. Am I?
Nope.
I am the only one of us at this point in time who has watched every single thing for the MCU, including the stuff that's kind of iffy if it's canon.
Like what?
Okay, questionable. I've watched almost everything. The only one that I have not watched and refuse to watch is Miss Marvel.
Why do you refuse to watch Miss Marvel?
They ruined Miss Marvel. They just didn't do it.
Oh,
towards
because she's
the
not
comic.
Inhuman. That's why. Okay, I know what you're saying.
I will not watch it. I refuse to watch it.
It was actually pretty good, but I understand what you're saying. She is not Miss Marvel in the way that she was.
No, she's not Miss Marvel. Period.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch the Marvels though? The movie?
I did watch the Marvels.
Okay.
That was pretty funny.
Okay.
I will give it that. That was funny.
Okay.
But I will refuse to watch the Marvels. I haven't finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I have not finished Eternal. Not Eternals. What is it called?
The Inhumans?
Yes.
Yeah, Inhumans, I can kind of understand not watching that because there was a lot of people who
It's
really
slow.
did not like it.
It's really slow.
Yeah, but it's also too fast. There's a lot of weird things with it. It feels too fast. It feels too slow. I don't know. Inhumans is kind of in a weird spot right now, and I think that there's a lot of things that they could have done better. But yeah. Inhumans. because Inhumans did bad. That's what we all know, that because Inhumans did not do well. That is why Miss Marvel did not was not an Inhuman. That is why she was she just got mystical powers from a space rock, basically.
Yeah, which does not work because of stuff.
Yeah.
But okay.
I think that it works for who she is. I think that that there's a lot of things that they did right with her story, especially dealing with being her family being a Muslim family in America. So, and there's a lot of things that are kind of complicated with that. So they tried to do it as best they could. I think that they did well, and I think that it is a fine movie for what it is. I think that there were certain things that they could have done better, but beyond that, I'm not going to say anything else. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Superman.
Yeah, Superman. But yeah, I don't think that the DC does a good job when it comes to trying to make a cinematic universe, a big expanded cinematic universe, because part of the reason for that is that they have their cartoons that have been doing really well, and they've kind of always been like the comic books where they aren't necessarily connected. You can if you want to watch literally any DC thing as that is a cartoon, you can just jump in at any point unless it is a long-running series. The only and if it's a long-running series, then you should watch the entire series. But as a whole, there's not much direct connection between anything. Or if there is, it's really small. Like, technically, Batman Beyond and Justice League, I think, are directly connected. But you do not have to watch Batman Beyond to understand Justice League. You do not have to watch Justice League to understand Batman Beyond. And that's kind of always been their way of doing things when it came to the cartoons. And I think that was why it was really good. I think that they did a lot of really good things. They have been doing they still are doing good things with the cartoons. I don't know. Have you guys? How much of the cartoons have you guys seen?
Not very many.
Okay, which most people haven't. Huh?
Bits and pieces. I haven't watched like a full season of it.
Okay. Yeah. Like there's all sorts of different things. So it's like, and it's a massive like they make a lot of cartoons. I think I've maybe scratched the surface of it. Like if there was an iceberg of the DC cartoons, I've maybe gotten the very tippy top of it. I have not even like looked through everything that is like very obvious. So there's that, and there's like 2 billion other things for the cartoon stuff, and I think that that's actually a good thing. There's so much of it that you can basically look at if you want to watch something for any of your favorite DC heroes or villains. There is probably a cartoon for it. So yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm 90% certain that there is, like, for nearly everyone. And I think that was a good decision. I don't know. I think that there are certain things that they could do better, but for the most part, the DC cartoons have been amazing. And I think that what DC might thrive from, if they were to if they really want to do a cinematic universe, is they would take their own advice and basically just make good movies. Don't worry about copying Marvel. Don't worry about being the making a movie that movies that are connected. Just have fun with it and just make movies, and I think that you would have done that. You would do great. And I think that that's even the live action stuff. Some of the best things that they have done for DC movies with live action are the things that are very disconnected, and they aren't setting things up. Um, like, granted, there are some that they were setting things up, and it looked fantastic. Cough, cough, Snyderverse. The Snyder movie, those ones were really good. Wonder Woman, fantastic.
I agree.
Captain
The
Shazam.
First Wonder Woman was the first Wonder Woman was good. The second one was okay.
Yeah, I think
Shazam was great.
I think that they did make some they kind of were making issues with the second one. I think it was still good. It was just not like on the same level as the first Wonder Woman for sure. But I think
All
that
I know is Captain Jack loves Wonder Woman.
yeah.
I like all of them. I like the cartoons. I like the comics. I've read a lot of them. I have a ton of them. On the other hand, Wonder Woman in the movies is exceptionally attractive. But then so is Chris Pine, right? Like, so tell me that movie wasn't made for the bisexual gays.
Fair.
I'm just sitting there staring the whole time, and I'm pretty sure there was drooling.
Fair.
Then again, Captain Marvel from Marvel in general is also one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like Brie Larson, I've always had a crush on. So
People give those movies a lot of hate. I don't mind them.
Wait, which
They
one?
were enjoyable.
What did you?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why
A lot
people
of
hate
people-
her. I really don't. I really do not
I don't get
understand.
it.
Like, part of it is sexism. Like, not all of it. Let me make that clear. It is not the only reason. But some people have like, she's not a guy, and it's like, and
Okay, well, if you look at the comics,
Always a Captain Marvel. that was a
Captain
Carol
Marvel is
Danvers.
not a guy.
yeah,
Yeah, there's always been Carol Danvers.
yeah, and it's
You
just
There
like,
was an original Captain Marvel who was a guy, but he's never had a movie.
yeah, he's not really there, really. Like
He's a minor character in the story of Captain Marvel with Carol Danvers.
yeah, like he's there, but he's like like there is so little on him that it really did not matter who he was or who she was, because yes, she was a character in the Marvel in Captain Marvel as a girl or as a woman, and like she was there.
She gets her power from Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And also the Tesseract. But yeah.
In
But that's
Infinity
it.
There was no Tesseract, though.
Huh? I thought the Tesseract was involved with that.
Not in the comics. That's
not in the
only.
original
That's only.
comics.
Oh no, not in the comics. In the movie, it was the Tesseract.
In the movie, yes.
Movie, yes,
In the
that's
movie,
right.
yeah.
In the comics, it's a mixture of Kree blood with her blood and an
Yeah.
explosion, which
Yeah.
basically is what happens in the movie.
Yep. But also the Tesseract fuckery.
The Tesseract.
They just kind of shoved that in there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think like part of that is just because they wanted to make it so that the Infinity Stones had more power than they actually did.
That
Because-
makes sense.
Because a lot of like they kind of have been doing this thing where the Infinity Stones were kind of giving people powers, which kind of makes me wonder if maybe since the Infinity Stones are destroyed now, if that power has basically leaked out to the rest of the universe, and that's why we're going to be seeing more heroes as the going on. I don't know. I have a feeling like that might actually be something for why the Fantastic Four have their powers in when they make the Fantastic Four movie. Like not necessarily that they're going to say that directly, but basically from the moment that Thanos snapped his fingers, there's basically been a wave coming from.
Okay, well,
yeah.
if you look at like the posters and stuff of this, it's more of an older
Yeah.
look to it, an older feel to it. So I don't think that's going to be necessarily correct.
No, I don't. I don't think it's gonna be correct. I'm just saying that if that was something, they might have done that. That might have been one of the thoughts that they were thinking. Is like when Thanos snapped to destroy the Infinity Stones, basically a wave exploded from from there, and traveled all over the world to basically and that is giving people powers. And one of the things that it's doing is gonna be giving the Fantastic Four their powers. Is it going to? I don't know. I think that there is a possibility that it still will, because of the fact that there is the time stone, so it could have also gone to the past, but it was a lesser. It didn't necessarily go to the past that often. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. There's a lot of things that they have to do. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked again. DC, but yeah, DC doesn't really do that well. I think that's kind of the point. Like the older Superman movies, they were great. The older Batman movies were great. Cough cough Joker, you love those.
Yes, the Dark Knight trilogy is one of the best Batman films ever created, and I don't care what people say.
Yeah, and The Batman, which is creating its own universe.
That movie is not bad. I'll give it credit to where credit's given. That one is not bad for being a different side of Batman, being more of a mystery detective Batman.
It's honestly one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
It is a, don't get me wrong, it is a great movie. It's just not my favorite Batman.
That's fair.
James what is his name? Not Patterson.
That was the recent one.
No, it's not James Patterson. James Patterson's an author.
Oh no, not Patterson is his first name, or his last name. What is his fucking name? It's the main character from Twilight.
Yeah, I don't freaking know his name, but he does a great job. Don't get me wrong, he does a great job of a dark, dingy detective Batman.
Yeah.
He does a great job of doing that. But
Robert Pattinson. That's his name.
What?
Robert Pattinson.
Yes, Robert Pattinson. He does a great job.
Yeah.
It's just not one that I'm like, ooh, I want to sit down and watch this again and again and again.
Yeah.
But I like his Batman. It's not bad. What I want them to do with this is keep that Batman going.
Yes, they absolutely should.
In this new James Gunn universe, don't have it like separated and do another Batman and another casting of another Batman, because you already have one and he's already signed a contract to do movies. Don't go get another actor to do Batman.
I think the issue with that is that it's kind of going against what I've been saying, where they should just make movies for making movies, and that's pretty much it. But at the same time, I kind of do agree with you that it could be pretty good, because they're already working on setting up this the Batman universe. They did Penguin, fucking tastic, by the way. If you haven't seen the Penguin yet, absolutely do so.
I have not.
It is so dark, though. It is not for the faint of heart. I do not think that it will. If they want to make a fun Superman, which I hope for that they do, there's going to be such a drastic difference between Batman's Gotham and Superman, and that might be perfect. It might also be shit. So I think that there's a lot. There could be good things with this, but there could also be a lot of bad things. So they have to be extremely fucking careful with how they use Batman and how they use Superman if they are going to put them in the same universe. I think that there's a high possibility that they are not going to be in the same universe, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if James Gunn has actually made a statement yet on whether or not The Batman and The Batman Part 2 are going, as well as all of the other movies in that universe, are actually going to be connected with the DC, the new DC universe.
I am kind of excited for the Batman 2 because they're going to do more villains. Like,
Yeah, isn't Freeze in it?
I think I've heard rumors that Mr. Freeze is supposed to be in it. I hope they do a better one than Arnold did.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I've just heard that it's really bad. I wouldn't.
That movie is bad for a lot of reasons. We're not talking about it. We're not gonna get into that.
I wouldn't mind seeing a updated Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Come into play. I don't know.
I really hope that they do something with if they do bring Ivy in, I hope that they also bring Harley in kind of soon. Because supposedly Joker is going to be involved at some point. So bring Harley in and have her do something very have her realizing pretty quickly that the Joker is a piece of shit and leave him, and then have her be with Ivy, please. We like her and Ivy's chemistry, especially after seeing Harley Quinn. Like, I love it so much. It's just great. If you haven't seen Harley Quinn yet, Joker, be aware that it is very mature. But Jack, I think you would love that.
Oh, you think I love it?
Oh, you would absolutely love it. So yeah, if you it's on HBO. So if you do want to watch it, then there's your knowledge. But yeah, I don't know too much about the Batman 2. So
I don't know. I've heard that there's like supposed to be Mr. Freeze. Oh, Clayface. Clayface was another one that they might be doing for this.
nice.
And that would be cool to see a Clayface. They haven't done that one, and that's a new look and spin on it. Like, yeah, they've done the Riddler before, and then this one was a different Riddler.
Yep.
But it wouldn't be bad. They've done multiple different Two-Faces.
Yep. So yeah, I'm
just excited to see what they do.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that it's gonna be a lot of fun, whatever they do. But also, can I just say, I fucking love Andy Serkis as being Alfred. It's amazing.
His Alfred
is
great.
He absolutely is great.
The casting for every single Alfred has been great.
Yeah.
No one has gone wrong in casting Alfred.
That's true. He has always been truly amazing.
Yes, the Dark Knight trilogy, great casting. Gotham.
Great casting.
Another one. Great
fucking
casting.
fast. Yeah. Gotham in general is one of the best TV shows ever.
Oh, I love Gotham.
We should definitely. Thank you for reminding me that. We should probably make sure that is in the retroactive awards for Nerd Chat awards. We'll talk about that later. But but yeah.
You can't go wrong with casting Alfred. They've done such a good job with his character. Even the older movies and older TV shows. Yeah. Even though I haven't seen them all, I've watched Michael Keaton Batman. Great job with Alfred and that. The Dark Knight, of course, great job. And then this Andy Serkis Batman, Alfred.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like, I love that scene where he's sitting down in the mansion and, or penthouse or whatever it is, and he's like doing the bills, and he's like, okay, you need to pay for this, and you need to pay for that, and you need to pay for that, and then you have a meeting at this time, and it's just great.
Yeah. Honestly, speaking of casting, I really hope that because of this movie, because of the Batman, that Robert Pattinson gets away from the Twilight cred. People will no longer think of him as the Twilight guy and think of him as the Batman, because then he can actually do stuff that is actually really cool. I mean, he did a great job in The Boy and the Heron because he played the Heron. He played the Gray Heron in that, which I think that was fun. He did a great job with that. But at this point in time, I still think of him as the Twilight guy. So hopefully the Batman and its sequels will kind of help that. We'll see. Anyways.
Yeah, we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
They just need to just make movies and just put them out. Don't
worry
Don't
about it
make
being
them all
a big universe. I think that's the important thing. Is like, don't necessarily freak out about making sure that it's all connected, because the fact of the matter is that it doesn't need to be connected. Like, they can maybe show up every now and again, like, oh yeah, maybe something in Superman will be like, oh yeah, the Batman, and they'll mention like the whole situation with the Riddler and all that jazz, and it'll like be in the newspaper or something. That's all. That is all I care about. Like, just do simple things like that, where maybe the movies are connected, maybe they're not. It does not have to be that massive.
I prefer not connected. That way I can just pick and choose which ones I want to watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I
Agreed.
said, like, if they're going to connect them at all, just have it be like something simple, like, oh, this could be connected because it's in the newspaper, but it's not necessary. It could also be a different Batman. It could be completely different. It could be completely different. I don't know. And they could pick and choose what they want if they do want to have. If they do want to have a Batman. If for whatever reason Robert Pattinson is no longer available is not available at that time to be Batman with a Superman movie, then it won't really matter to be for it to be a different for it to be him. It could be somebody else, and he could just be there, and so on and so forth. Could they be connected? Sure, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to be. And I think that's like all of the cartoons, and that's what I said earlier. The cartoons, not connected in the slightest. None of them are connected unless it's like specifically a long-running series. Then it will be connected to itself, but that's it. And I think that they've done the best job when they've done that. And I don't know. We'll see exactly what they do. Just make good movies. That's all we ask. It doesn't have to be perfect. And don't make it feel like, oh, you have to do homework before you go to see the movie. Because that has been, I think that is what really drove people crazy, to the point that frickin' I'm forgetting what something else YT, right around the time that Infinity War. Right around the time that Infinity War was happening, he did a whole thing where he basically went over all of the movies and shows and basically said, here's how it's connected, blah, 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 giving all the as many details as possible. And he did that for all of the movies because he was like, oh yeah, I should probably, it's confusing, it's long, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So, they don't want to be sitting down to watch every single movie. And that's fine. But it also and not everyone has the money or the time to watch every single movie. So having it be less connected, meaning that you can pick and choose which movies you want to watch, is going to save a lot of people a lot of stress. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what they do. I hope that I don't know. My dad actually said something kind of interesting when it came to James Gunn. And he feels concerned about James Gunn having complete control over the DC universe. Because...
Why?
Well, when James Gunn has full control over a project, he kind of tends to make things bad.
He did a good job with Guardians.
That's not what I'm talking about. Guardians, he didn't have full control over. Like, he had a lot of control, for sure, but he did not have full control over them. It's not necessarily that he makes them bad, it's that he makes them really mature oftentimes. Or should I say immature? He has he makes movies that are not really accessible to the vast numbers of audiences. Superman is not looking like that's going to be the case. At this point in time, it does not look dark. It looks like it's going to be fun. It's going to be cute. And is there going to be some dark stuff? Yes, but it's not necessarily going to be super dark. And I'm hoping that that's going to be the same thing that he's going to stick with as he takes control over the DC universe, because not every single thing needs to be dark and gritty. And Superman is one of those that really does not need to be dark and gritty. He needs to be fun. He needs to be he needs to care about people. Can there be some things where it's dark and that people are not certain about him because he's an alien? Yes, that is an important aspect of him. But it is also important to understand that he is someone who cares about people. So yeah, he is very much a human that has the powers of a god. But he's also he is someone that deeply cares about humanity. And that is an important aspect that they need to make sure that they keep that in there. Freaking
I'm just curious on the trailer of like who made him bleed and he's laying down in the snow.
No idea. We'll see. Probably Luthor.
Won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Once he finds out Superman's weakness, he just goes all out against Superman.
Yep, probably. There's also a floating eye in the background that I think we just keep not noticing. So I'm wondering what the hell that is. But we'll see.
Floating eye.
Yeah, there's a like not necessarily a floating eye. It's what is this? Oh, it does look like a floating eye. What is this thing? I don't know. There's a big monster. There is like when he and Lois are talking, and it looks like he's probably uncertain about being like, do people actually want him? Is he the one causing all these issues? And he's uncertain of himself. And it looks like she's gonna convince him to go fight this big bad thing that's happening in the background. But it's basically this orb that is firing off a beam into the world. So, I don't know.
Ooh,
I didn't notice that.
if there's an orb in the sky firing a beam, wonder if it's Brainiac.
It could be. I don't think it is. I think that this is too early to be dealing with Brainiac. Brainiac is such a big villain. I feel like if they introduce him this early, it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, I think that's why people disliked the Justice League movie, is because Darkseid is also such a big villain, and they like, here, we're just gonna start right off with this.
Yeah, I think that starting off with too big of villains is gonna be a problem. So if it's just Luthor, or maybe like some other villain, some other major villain that's kind of like small scale comparatively, then I think it'll be fine. But if it is actually like a massive villain, like Brainiac, like Darkseid, it's too fucking early. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
That's why Marvel set it up like
Yeah.
movies in advance, like, hey, we're gonna do this, but we're gonna get to that point first.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why people are uncertain about Kane, is because of the fact that he, like, we've seen him. We've seen pieces of him. And it feels weird that we're already, like, seeing this guy, because it should have been a slow burn to seeing him. But they just brought him out, like, so quickly. And also the fact that the actor is a piece of shit. They're not showing him because the actor is a piece of shit.
I don't think they're doing that at all anymore, because now the one that said King Dynasty is now called Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, they probably
off the
did
field.
change it. They probably did change their plan because of the piece of shit things that he was doing. Yeah, the actor who was playing Kane was doing some really shitty things, so that's part of it. We're not gonna get into that, but anyways, that's probably a good spot to end this nerd chat. We talked a lot about Marvel. We talked a lot about DC. Hopefully, people can get these things squared away, and we actually have some good movies coming our way. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. He's been Jack. He's been Joker, and we will see you guys next time. But on.
But